Hello everybody. So we're still talking about the calculation of the optimum pipe diameter for float flow, and in the previous video we saw that we calculated the fixed cost, which was the cost of pipes, and the operating cost, which is the cost of the electricity that is needed to operate the pump. And from these we were able to calculate the total cost and find the minimum cost that corresponds to the optimum pipe diameter. However, in the previous video, we didn't include something which is very important actually, which is the cost of the or the price of the pump. Or the cost of the pump, I'm sorry. And the cost of the pump is important because it's a hardware, one of the equipment that you have to purchase to get everything running. So this is something that you have to take into account. And I prefer to keep it in a separate video because there are kind of a lot of details that we need to discuss separately. I rearranged the file so that it's kind of more suitable for the calculations, including the pumps. And here I have the available data, the fixed cost calculations in this part, the operating cost calculations in this part, and this is where we have the data of the pump. And to understand the pump data, and I put the optimum diameter calculations here, and the plot is here as well, and I put the equations on this side. And to be able to understand this part, I just want to go to the next sheet where I have a lot of data here. So the information we know about the pumps is that we have 8 pumps, and we know some information about these 8 pumps. I know the price of each, and I know some information that will help me pick the suitable pump for the suitable head, so I can find which pump is the more suitable for a specific head that's needed for the or from the pump. So the curves that we see here are called pump curves, and these pump curves are characteristic curves for each pump. So each pump has its curve that tells or gives a relation between the flow rate that the pump can handle and the head that the pump can provide to the liquid. The you would see that the pump has like a wide range of flow rates, and this is for almost all of them, and this is the case for centrifugal pumps, which has an impeller that rotates and provides energy or gives energy to the fluid. And as you see, the pump curve starts with a high flow or high head for low flow rate, and as you increase the flow rate, the pump head decreases a lot. So here it can go up to 350 or 360 meters, and here it goes down to 200 something. So it's almost one or two-thirds of the maximum head that can be provided. And this is because or this is expected because you are providing energy, and as the flow increases, the energy is distributed over a large amount of liquid, and that's why it gets lower pressure. So this is the largest pump, and this smaller and smaller, and this is the smallest pump that we can use. So for instance, if I am operating using 0.015 meter cube per second, then I know that the first or the last pump or the smallest pump can give me a head which is almost 110 or 105. The second can give me 130, 140. The third can give me 180, 170, whatever the value. The fourth can give me 200. So this is like a very important thing to know what is the maximum head that the fluid can provide for a specific flow rate. So this is very important. So what I did is that I want to make use of these pump curves so that I can know how much flow or how much head each pump can provide, and from this I can know which pump can be suitable for my case. So this is what I did here. I converted all these into equations by doing data fitting, and all of them like made very good fits using second order polynomial equations. So you see here, this is the equation for the first pipe, the second first pump, the second, third, fourth, till the eighth pump. And the fitting is very good. It didn't go less than 99.48% for the R square, which is very good fit. So this is what we got, and I put these here as equations. Just for the sake of time, I did everything beforehand so that I don't spend a lot of time in doing some kind of routine work that we did before. So this is something that we have already discussed more than once before. So this is the equation for the first pump, the second pump, the third, fourth, fifth. So this is the maximum head that we can get for each one of these. So just by providing the flow rate, we can simply know how much head the pump can provide. So let's say I'm using the 0.015 meter cube per second flow rate, and I found that I need a head of 250 meters. So if I go for this flow rate and go for 250, I would find myself somewhere between the third and the fourth pump. So it's important for me to pick the right pump in this case. So I could expect that I'm going for either the third or the fourth pump, but the question is, will I pick this or this? So the answer is gonna be I'm gonna pick the third pump because it's gonna provide more head than what I need. I need 250 meters, but if I go for the fourth pump, I'm gonna find myself ending up with 230 something, which is less than what I need. So I have to go for the higher pump so that it can give me the head that I want, and it's not a problem if it provides higher head, but it's a problem if it provides lower head because it's not gonna let the flow go to the other side of the pump. So this is pretty important, and you have to keep this in mind because this is gonna be one critical thing when we do the calculation of the pump. So what we are gonna do now is I have here the same equations for the pump curves, and this is the maximum head that each pump can provide. And I'm already taking this flow rate from the flow rate that I have here so that I can like make the calculations easily from this cell here. And I have the price of each, or the cost that I have to pay for each one of these pumps. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find out which pump is suitable based on the head that I have here. And from this, I'm gonna put the pump cost. I'm gonna pick it from the table here according to which pump I'm gonna pick, and then I'm gonna add the pipe cost to the pump cost to get the total cost, and then I'm gonna get the annual cost, which is dividing the total cost by the number of years, and this is what I'm gonna put here. So this is gonna be the new part. This is not gonna have anything new to do except for picking the price from here instead of from here. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an if conditional, um, which is gonna I'm gonna go back here. It's gonna see if the head is between these two, then it's gonna pick pump one. If it's between these two, it's gonna pick pump two. If it's between these two, it's gonna pick pump three. If it's, and so on until we go to the less than this value here, or the eighth pump, then it's gonna pick the eighth pump. If it's higher than, and this is the point, if it's higher than the first pump or the head of the first pump, then I don't have a pump that can do this for me. So I'm gonna skip this diameter. So it's not gonna be a valid diameter for me. So this is how I'm gonna do the if condition. It's gonna be six nested if conditions, or six if conditions, or seven, because I have 8 points here. So I'm gonna go for seven if conditions, or maybe eight because this is one here. Anyways, we will see. So I'm gonna see if this head is larger than this height here, then I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna type because it's not a valid point for me. And then if I'm sorry, if this head here is, oops, if this here is larger, oops, what's wrong here, is larger than the second, then I'm gonna pick the first pump. This is what we said, it's gonna be between these two, then I'm gonna pick the larger one. Then another if condition, if this head is larger than the third pump's head, then we will go for the second pump. and then another if condition. This is um, larger than the fourth head, then we will go for the third pump. And another if condition. This is, I know it's kind of tedious and boring thing, but you have to do this just once, and it's gonna do everything for you later. I know it's not the most fun thing to do. So if this is larger than this, we're getting close, so um, just bear with me. Then it's gonna be this, and if this is larger than this, it's gonna be the sixth pump. And this is the last if condition. If this is larger than 125, it's gonna be pump 7. Otherwise, which is if it's smaller than it, it's gonna be pump 8. And this is all lot of brackets that have to be closed, and we're done. So this is everything, but I missed a very important thing, is which is I need to drag it, and if I drag it, then all these cells are gonna be dragged down, so I have to do the F4 for each U and T cell. So this is U, T, U, T, U, T, U, T, U, T. We're getting very close. And we're done. So now when I drag this, it's gonna pick the pumps for me. So for this point, it's calculating the head, or before this, it skipped all the heads until it was 566 meters, and this is perfectly right, because I don't have something more than 364. When it became 265, it picked the pump 3, because 265 is between 249 and 282, and it has done this for all of them. Now I need to, in this cell, I want the software to find for each pump, or to find out which price corresponds to the pump that I have. So it's gonna be a simple VLOOKUP function. It's gonna look up the value of the pump name here, and in this table I'm gonna click F4, because it is I don't want the pump or the table to change. And then I have, this is the column number 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's column number 5. I want it false because it's an exact match. And here I think I did something wrong, so it is this in this table. Oh, it's flows. It's false, not flows. So yeah, this is the problem. Okay, so now I have the pump prices here: 1400 for pump number 3, 11 or 12. I have 11,600 for pump number 5. This is true. 10,500 for pump number 7 or 6, and 9,500 for pump number 7. So it's exactly the prices that I have here. So it's doing it right. Now finally, I'm gonna calculate the total fixed cost, which is the pump cost plus the pipe cost. It's not the annual; it's the total cost. And finally, I want to divide this by the number of years, and click F4, so that I can have the annual cost. And finally, the fixed cost is going to be calculated from the total cost, not from the pipe cost. So now I have the data updated, and I have the fixed cost, the operating cost, and everything is perfectly right. I have a problem here, because I have errors that showed up starting from the pump cost, because the VLOOKUP cannot find the skip as one of these entries here. I have to find a solution, because it cannot calculate the nominal diameter and the total cost from here. And this is something that I mentioned before, that I don't need to worry anymore about this because it's going to calculate it automatically. And I personally do not like to find the errors here. If I find an error, I feel bad about it. So there's something that we can do, which is an if error function. We mentioned that before, that if you have an error, if the function is right, it's going to calculate the function. If it's wrong, it's giving an error, then you can choose to display something else, either a number or anything that you want to display. Here I'm going to put it as a skip. The same here, it's going to be if error, and if it's an error, I want it to put a skip. And the same here, if error and skip. So now I don't have any errors here. And this is not gonna make any difference here, but it makes me feel better about myself. And here for this table, there is one thing that I personally prefer to do, which is not showing any values for the numbers that do not or that I skipped, for the diameters that I skipped. So what I want to do now is something we didn't mention before, but it's kind of a nice thing. And instead of putting skip, there's a function that's called isText. So isText is like a true or false function. It gives you true if this cell contains text, and false if it does not contain text. So I want to see if this is text, to put it as an empty cell, otherwise to display the value that is in it. So what I have done is simply displaying or putting an empty cell for the cells that contain a text here, and to put a value for the cells that have values here. The same I can do for the operating cost is by taking the same first part here, which is if is text here, and it's gonna be the same for this, and it's all. So when it does the rest, is gonna be okay. And the same here, I'm gonna put it here. So if it has a text, then it's not gonna display it, otherwise it's and here we see that the problem is solved, that I don't have any problem now with the cells that did not have values, or had had errors. So it's now displaying the diameter and displaying the total cost. And now everything is done. We can do anything here. If I change the flow rate to 100, I need just to do the calculating, and it's gonna do everything for us. And now we can do it without having the problem of like expanding the range too much, because I'm not showing the values that are very large. We can do anything now. You can change the value as much as you want, and it's not gonna make any difference. If I make it to 100 and maybe change the outlet pressure to like 20, for instance, then it's gonna calculate everything for you. It's gonna calculate the losses, calculate the diameter, and give you the optimum, and draw the curve. Everything is gonna be calculated automatically without worrying about anything. And now we are taking into account or including the price of the pipes and the price of the pump, which is something that we didn't do last time. So this is the first way we can include the pump cost. There is another way that we are going to discuss in the next video, inshallah. So I'll see you then.